So here we are, August 19th, 2012, with the two counties that have dominated the game of hurling over the last number of years. Tipperary and Kilkenny have met 22 times previously in the championship, with Tipperary winning 13 times, Kilkenny 9. The scene is set, the Battle of Croke Park begins. A place in the All-Ireland final on the 9th of September against Galway awaits. TJ Reid lays it off quickly as Kilkenny, playing against the breeze, get the very first score. After just 12 seconds of play, Aiden Fogarty ends the move with a defence-splitting movement that began with TJ Reid, and there's a row down at the other end in front of Hill 16, and the referee is making a dash down there to try and stop what was going on while Aiden Fogarty was scoring the opening point. The linesman is there as well, and certainly, and already in its centre between the 45 and 65 there's another row. This is an incredible start, and obviously the referee Cathal McAllister in his second All-Ireland semi-final is waving them all away, telling them all to cop on basically and get on with the game of hurling. Obviously tempers are frayed, the tension is palpable, and the business of getting to the All-Ireland final has to be sorted out.
Yeah, well, Marty, unbelievable off the ball stuff there. Jackie Turle is picking up Lara Corbett, Lara's trying to get away, Tommy Walsh is on Tar Burke, Brian Hogan is on Bonner Marriott. They're all gone man to man, the Kilkenny backline.
Come back there is Michael Finlay. Patrick Bonner-Marr lays it off. Tipperary trying to take advantage of the breeze in the opening half. Is this a very quick response? It's not. Ball goes wide off the stick of Noel McGrath.
And we talk about, Marty, about players not having positions, but they've really moved on. This is bringing it to a new level. Colin Fennelly's at right half forward for Kilkenny. Richie Power at centre forward. Tommy Walsh has got a yellow card now.
Tommy Walsh, while you were speaking there, Michael, had a little bit of an entanglement with Lara Corbett, and the words are being exchanged. And Lara Corbett is now chasing after Tommy Walsh in a verbal exchange. But certainly Colin McAllister spotted it and gave a yellow card immediately to Tommy Walsh.
And Jackie Turle is keeping very, very close tabs on Lara Corbett off the ball. He's absolutely all over him, and they're trying to move around to make space. But I was just saying, everybody has moved. Colin Fennelly is at right half forward, Richie Power at centre forward, Aiden Fogarty at left half forward, TJ Reid at right corner, Owen Larkin at full, and Henry Shefflin at left corner. All the Kilkenny forwards have moved around, and Tipper doing the same down the other end of the field.
Thomas Stapleton with the sideline cut. Kilkenny retrieve possession against the wind, remember, and certainly the wind has increased since the minor game was completed between Tipperary and Galway earlier, with Tipperary winning a place in the final. Comes back outside towards Michael Finlay. Grabbed instead by a half-forward line that will, well, positions mean little or nothing here. There's a break inside, gathered here by Brian O'Mara, taken down inside the arc, and there are shoulders being exchanged. There are certainly words being exchanged, and certainly this momentum has really, it's a blistering start by both Tipperary and Kilkenny, and all the tactical games being played by both managers.
Well, I'm delighted the game is on, Marty. There's so much talk for the last week. I was nearly, for the first time in my life, I was fed up with talking about a game, and just what a start. It'll settle down, but and that's what Brian O'Mara, I think, brings to this Tipperary forward line this year, that sort of physicality. I think they learned last year they didn't have that type of a ball winner up front, and Brian O'Mara has been a key man throughout the year so far, and won that ball well and is fouled.
And Lara Corbett just getting a little bit of medical attention as he dons his helmet. This is how he got hit earlier. There's Lara Corbett and Jackie Turle. You can see there was just a knock there between them. Not quite clear from that camera perspective.
Yeah, might have just got tangled up in his face guard, and those face guards are causing a lot of little nicks around the eyes and that.
Top scorer, Tar Burke, with a goal and 21 points coming into this championship All-Ireland semi-final, gets his first point.
Yeah, and a real confidence player, Marty. You know, he scored 6 goals, I think, for Thurles in the championship there a couple of weeks ago, 6-3, and you know, he'd be looking for a good start.
Tuck out by David Herity. And once again, as Tipperary go into the attack, Brian O'Mara trying to lay it back for his Lara Corbett. Pass wasn't great, comes instead to Shane McGrath. Nice turn. What about the shot? It's classy. Shane McGrath. Great score by the young hurler from Ballynahinch in North Tipperary.
Yeah, super score, Marty. Just, you know, knew where the posts were, as we say in hurling. He never looked just knew where he was in the field, had no time, and that's a super score.
Puck out, a lengthy one from David Herity. Comes down first, Conor O'Mahony. Steps away from the challenge. Goes long again up towards Brian O'Mara, and Bonamara, who's operating in the full forward line. Coming forward is Paul Murphy. Nice skill by the cornerback. Takes a lovely step and drives it long towards Brendan Cummins. Good hands out of the veteran goalkeeper in his 71st championship match. 37 years of age since the 11th of May. The ball coming back to him again as Kilkenny go into the attack, and that is a brilliant score by Michael Fennelly. Scored a point against Limerick, scores a point against Tipperary.
Yeah, Brendan Cummins' clearance, Marty, a little bit loose out to Thomas Stapleton, and he's going to be nervous enough without that, and Michael Fennelly picks it up and straight over to our great score as well.
Level for the second time in this All-Ireland semi-final. Ball sent in this time by Brendan Marr, swinging to the right and hopping over the end line and wide. Well, we've had 5 minutes of action. Let's see what happened here, Michael.
Thomas Stapleton and Michael Fennelly got inside the elbow there, and Thomas Stapleton was very wild there, but he didn't, he obviously missed him. But a great score by Michael Fennelly, and that's what he's the key man back for Kilkenny now, and his power is going to be very, very crucial in this game.
Loose ball picked up this time by Conor O'Brien, playing really well. The ball has gone inside to Noel McGrath. Every has to come off his line. It's back there still McGrath. It's all over the place and it's scooped away. It's Kilkenny live dangerously. Comes out first Tommy Walsh. Drops it down into the centre towards Brian Hogan, who flicks it out towards his midfielder Michael Rice. Goes long down towards TJ Reid. Selected instead of Richie Hogan. Ball inside, who's obviously out for this particular match, and it's TJ that's battling hard for it. Owen Larkin is in there as well. Ball comes out towards Colin Fennelly. Linesman John Sexton indicates that it is a Kilkenny ball.
The ball breaks inside there, and Noel McGrath, if he got the first touch, it was a certain goal. It broke away from him, and good little touch there by David Herity, and just got it away.
Sideline ball is not great. Comes first Michael Cahill, another Pearl of Sarsfield's man. Goes for distance, dropping down towards Brian Hogan, and Hogan, magnificent under the high ball. Gives it down towards his captain Owen Larkin. Fouled by Conor Mahoney, free to Kilkenny on the 45-metre line. Difficult enough angle.
Yeah, and interesting, Henry Shefflin coming out to take the free. The last day against Limerick, I was very surprised to see Richie Power starting on the frees, and I think he missed 4 of the first 5. And I don't know what message Brian Cody was trying to send out that day, but Henry didn't like it. He scored 2 goals in the first half, and he's back now doing what he does best, taking the frees there as well.
That gives you a pretty good idea of the angle that Henry Shefflin is facing. 10 points against Dublin, 1-8 against Galway, 2-6 against Limerick, and his very first point in the All-Ireland semi-final of 2012.
Yeah, very even start, and just interesting. Brian Hogan, I think, won 2 great high balls already off Bonner Maher, and Bonner's going to want to get into the game and stop Brian Hogan dominating.
Kilkenny working hard, sending the ball up towards Owen Larkin. Was he being held? Owen Larkin is found guilty by the referee, saying he was pushing, not the other way around. So it's a free out for Brendan Cummins and for Tipperary.
Yeah, tall Corn getting out in front. There was very little in that, he just used his body, and I don't know, I think a lot of those balls are very 50-50, and you can I think the forward sometimes, being the next forward myself, you get pulled for those, where maybe a back could get away with it.
Well, Brendan Cummins has only scored once in his inter-county career. That was against Kilkenny in the 2010 All-Ireland final. Wind assisted, he's dropping this one in. Dangerous ball, great catch under the crossbar as Kilkenny come forward. That's Kieran Joyce coming, laying it off as again they go for distance. TJ Reid, Michael Cahill tries to back it down. There is Torrig Marr has to throw the sliotar high up into the air in case of being blocked. Good work this time by Richie Power, lays it off inside. Chance of an opportunity here, and it's well taken. Aiden Fogarty with his second point of the match, and Fogarty beginning to pose problems for Tipperary as he got inside the cover. Really good score.
Yeah, he's a very direct hurler, but just interesting there, Torrig Maher going back towards the goals, and that's something I think that Kilkenny will be working on, stopping him clearing those long balls up the field and to put the pressure on him straight away there.
Every puck out from Brendan Cummins going down in front of that far over side towards Noel McGrath. This one is floating in. Again, it's Kieran Joyce playing well. That's 2 fine catches that he's produced in this game. Up into the clouds goes Michael Finlay, trying to get away from the touch. Two Tipperary lads chasing after. Still Finlay, doing what Pat Delaney did back in the 70s, hopping the slither on the surface, but he loses possession. Noel McGrath gives it to Conor O'Mahony. Conor trots away, confident that a white flag will be raised, and that's exactly what's after happening down at the Hill 16 end. And it is now 4 points to 3 as Tipperary produce the goods.
That's a great score, Marty. But I think you'll get people at home get a sense for how strong the wind is. That last free by Brendan Cummins and that puck there by Conor O'Mahony. Great catch by Richie Power.
What a catch by Richie. What a point by Richie Power. Straight from David Heraghty's puck out. Grabbed the slither in the air. No hanging about, no messing. Just drove it between the posts.
Yeah, he's very strong in the air. But it just saying about the wind, Marty, it is strong in his favour and tip. So Kilkenny will be very happy with this start.
Brendan Cummins needs to change the direction of his puck outs as Kilkenny begin to win that side. Again, it comes down towards Owen Lark, and Brendan Cummins has to come out bravely on the ball. Hand passes it down the centre towards Conor O'Mahony. Great block down by Richie Power as Kilkenny chase absolutely everything. This is Brendan Maher sending it over diagonally over towards Brian O'Mara. Has to go on the motorbike to try and get over there, but the sideline comes a little bit too quickly. Sideline ball for Kilkenny.
Yeah, Brendan Cummins here showing all his experience, getting out the ball, wins a great ball and uses his body and drives out with it, and super goalkeeping. Yeah, I thought Conor O'Mahony was a bit slow on the ball. He had more time. He took a long time to clear the ball, and a great block down there by Richie Power.
Not a great sideline cut, however. Michael Finlay works tirelessly, but he had stepped out over the sideline, it would appear. And James McGrath, the linesman over there, says that it is a Kilkenny ball in his 14th championship year, Brian Cody. You see James McGrath with his flag up there. Going to be a sideline cut for Kieran Joyce.
And interesting, Marty, Kilkenny are going with a man marking policy. What Tip should do is move their forwards back into their original positions and see will Tipperary get the Tipperary backs out of position, because all they're doing at the moment is running around. None of them are playing a position, and all Kilkenny are doing is picking up loose ball, and Michael Finlay in particular in the middle of the field helping out the half back line, and I think Tipper are playing into their hands at the moment.
Shane McGrath working hard and winning himself a free. And going to take it is Pa Burke. Won an All-Ireland minor 6 years ago, Pa Burke. Hoping to add to his collection and at least get into the final. And that's his second point of the match. Still 1 point between them. Plenty to talk about, and we just have about 13 minutes gone in the first half. Shane McGrath goes up for it, comes back, fires Thomas Stapleton. Owen Larkin is there with the green and red helmet. There is club colours of James Stevens in Kilkenny City. Again goes for distance. Going up high is Noel McGrath, and on landing turns beautifully like a ballet dancer and hits that slither straight over the black spot. And once again, Tipperary and Kilkenny are level in Croke Park, level for the third time.
Yeah, and we saw his younger brother John in the minor match beforehand, scored a couple of great points from play, another star in the making, and Noel McGrath, a great catch over Paul Murphy and straight over the bar. And we've seen some great high fielding so far. We've seen Kieran Joyce, 2 great catches, Brian Hogan, Richie Power, and it's a great feature of the game to date.
David Heraghty's puck out, comes down first, Conor O'Mahony finds himself under pressure immediately from Richie Power. Tenacious, hard work by TJ Reid. He's hard to stop once he gets the slither into the hand. Gives it back, fires Michael Reid onto the left hand, and that is straight between the posts. Michael Rice. Both midfielders for Kilkenny have now scored in this All-Ireland semi-final. But credit TJ Reid, he really worked hard.
He did, Marty, and the intensity in the tackling of the Kilkenny forwards is back today. Great catch again by Bonner-Maher.
Bonner-Maher to Lara Corbett. Richie Power almost getting a block in, taking on the challenge. Pa Burke has to go back first, Thomas Stapleton. Stapleton flicks it back for his Burke again. Available is Shane McGrath, but Pa Burke has the confidence to have a lash, but he sends it to the right and wide.
Yeah, but Marty, the tackling I was saying of the Kilkenny forwards maybe wasn't there in the Leinster final, but it's certainly there today, and particularly, as I say, when Pádraig Maher gets on the ball, he's been surrounded very, very quickly.
Tuck out goes straight down the middle. Richie Power got a touch, but it's Patrick Bonamar that gathers it. Goes long again down towards Noel McGrath. JJ Delaney sweetly giving it outside as Kilkenny go for distance again. Down towards Owen Larkin, who's now operating at the edge of the square, despite number 12 in his back. Trying to get inside Paul Curran. He nips in Michael Cahill. Good stuff from the terrier-like cornerback from Curlistown. Wonderful play by the left cornerback. Kilkenny man down injured as the Tipperary lads go into the attack. Noel McGrath hits it, but the umpire is going to signal wide. Remains 6 points to 5. Getting a knock in that particular sequence was Paul Murphy from Danesford, All-Ireland Intermediate medal back in 2010. And again the words are being exchanged, and Cathal McAllister, the referee, is telling everybody to calm down. 16 minutes gone, we have 11 points between the two teams and plenty of talking points.
Yeah, Paul Murphy got a heavy knock there, and you know, Tara Burke a bad wide a minute ago, Noel McGrath another poor wide there, and Kilkenny in the middle of the field, Michael Rice and Michael Fennelly seem to be getting a bit of a foothold there, and they're winning an awful lot of possession.
Goes down fires Michael Fennelly. Aiden Fogarty has already scored twice. Ball inside, hops nicely for TJ Reid. He has the space, Fennelly is to his left, there's a goal opportunity. Oh, brilliant save by Brendan Cummins. The clearance is not made, here comes Owen Larkin, the pressure is still on Tipperary. It's inside the large rectangle, no penalty given. The ball comes out just a little bit, and it's a free out to the Premier County. But should it have been a penalty? Was it a free out? Michael Duignan.
Well, that passage of play could be crucial in the game. TJ Reid straight through and goes, did the unselfish thing, passed it over to Conal Fennelly. Brendan Cummins stayed on his feet very, very well. Then they failed to clear it, so we'll just get another look at Owen Larkin. Intercepted it here, gets the ball. You know, there wasn't an awful lot. They held their ground of what they were supposed to do, and he went to ground, so I think the ref got it right.
Certainly looks like that he did, as the ball goes out over the sideline. There's a hard pull, and again there's a little bit of tension along the sideline. Let's just watch this again.
Yeah, wild enough pull there by Pádraig Maher, one-handed, and Tip win the line ball in. But that, really, Kilkenny don't miss goal chances like that. That was a great chance for a goal, and they didn't take it. And it'll be interesting to see does that come back to haunt them.
Blood substitute on from Michael Rice. Brian Cody looks incensed as well, and he's coming out to John Sexton, and I'm not going to see Brian Cody really annoyed, but he's very angry there as the ball continues on in towards the large rectangle. Paul Murphy is back there, and Kilkenny, you can see these two teams. There is an adrenaline rush on the pitch in Croke Park. Both of these counties really determined to win this All-Ireland semi-final. Kilkenny have introduced Killian Buckley as a blood substitute for Michael Rice. So if you see number 22, that's Killian Buckley. Up goes TJ Reid, brilliantly caught. Hits a shot. That is a magnificent score by TJ Reid.
Yeah, and he's been much more involved in the game. Just watch it again here. An absolutely brilliant catch. A player, that comes into the game under pressure because, when he started, doesn't normally go as well as when he comes on as a sub. But that's a great catch and a great point, and he's really working hard so far in the game.
Kilkenny with a 2-point advantage. Comes out first, JJ Delaney. Plays the ball down that far sideline. Out there first, Paul Curran, ahead of Owen Larkin. Goes high up towards Lark Corbett. Ball is there, available. Gathering it is Brian O'Mara, giving it inside to Patrick Bonamar, but the referee's whistle is blown, and there is a free in for Tipperary.
Yeah, Brian O'Mara again, as mentioned earlier, that's the second time he's been fouled for a free since the start of the game. I think Tip are going to be very happy with this, Marty. If he puts this over, they're only a point down. They really haven't settled down at all, and Kilkenny are doing most of the hurling, and yet they'll only be a point ahead. And take Lara seems to be, he's running all over the place, hasn't settled down, and I think Tipper are a little bit like that. He's getting involved doing a lot of talking to other Kilkenny players, and I think Tip need to settle, but they're going to be delighted only a point down now at this stage.
Burke with his 3rd point of the match, all of them from frees, and now just 1 point between the teams. Batted away, and McGrath. Only far is Brian Hogan. He's going for it. Brendan Cummins, safe and sound as always, lays it off quickly to his left corner back, Michael Cow. Lar Corbett, first touch, hurler of the year 2010, skips away from the challenge, in for his Pat Burke. It's a Hurler Sarsfield special. It could have been if it worked out. Pat Burke is on the floor. Tipperary players are protesting to the referee, and again, Carl McAllister, his coolness personified.
Yeah, great hand pass here by Lara, what he does into Pat Burke, and Tommy comes across there. Didn't see very much there again, and I think Carl McAllister again got it right.
I think Pat kind of hit the deck rather easily, to be honest.
Well, you won't get soft freeze with Colin McAllister.
No, that's for sure, but there's still Tipperary with the slither. The referee has given a free in this time.
As I speak.
But to be fair to Colin McAllister, the games I've seen him, he allows play to develop, and he allows a lot of the physical side of the game.
Here's Pat Burke there, and was it Tommy coming in from behind? Yeah, it was maybe just a little nudge on the back there. He lets the game flow within the rules. I think at the starter he was sensible. There was a lot of stuff going on, and if he started pulling everything and pulling players aside, he would have stopped the whole momentum of the game, and he's let it develop, and we've had a great first 20 minutes, plenty of good scores, and it's settled down. In fairness, there hasn't been a dirty stroke in the game so far.
This is Pa Burke, and the way he's the body language would suggest he might have a crack at this.
He has the wind behind him.
Here's Burke, going for it, brilliantly stopped, comes back out to him again, still available. It's on the small rectangle. John O'Brien is there, and the umpire has his arm raised to say it is a 65 for Tipperary. But a brilliant shot from Pa Burke, but an equally brilliant save here. Just watch. He hit a rasper, stopped by Tommy Walsh.
Yeah, it was a great save, and the rebound, if you watch Michael Fennelly coming in after the rebound here, if it goes to it, he made a very important interception. He got his hurling when Pa Burke went to double on it.
So Pa Burke going to take this 65. As James McGrath points to the exact position. Declan Ryan in his 2nd year in charge. Of course, many of these young players were part of his Tipperary minor team that won the All-Ireland 5 years ago. Pa Burke looks, focuses, and hits it. Spot on. 4 points for Pa Burke in this All-Ireland semi-final, and the sides level for the 4th time.
Yeah, and his free taking looks very, very assured today, and Kilkenny will have to be careful giving away frees because he strikes the ball very, very well.
Puck out by David Herity, and again it's TJ Reid. Brilliant under the high ball, down towards Fennelly. Takes the shoulder, skips away from Michael Cowell, and goes towards goal with the short grip. That's a really, really quality point by Colin Fennelly. He took the hits, he worked hard, used the short grip, and floated it over the bar.
That's a super score, Marty. Great first touch and gets away. And you have to say all the Kilkenny forwards so far have looked to have the beaten of their men, and yet they're only a point ahead.
Loose ball comes out first, Brendan Maher. Hits a shoulder on Brian Hogan. Killian Buckley is the number 22. Still on for the injured Michael Rice. Ball into Specs. Paul Kern should get there first. Chased by Owen Larkin. I think Paul was already trying to decide what he was going to do with the slither rather than focusing on the ball itself. He apologises to everybody, but it's a soft 65 for Kilkenny.
Great catch again there by TJ Reid.
TJ Reid is brilliant under the high ball, isn't he?
He is absolutely brilliant, having a great game. But I was saying that the Kilkenny forwards are throughout the field generally, you couldn't say any Tipperary man is really dominating, and yet there's only a point in the game, and they'll be happy with that.
Henry Shefflin try and stretch the Cats' lead to 2 from the 65. Straight over the bar. So with 24 minutes gone, it's Kilkenny 9 points, Tipperary 7. Let's go down to the sideline to Claire McNamara.
Yes, Marty, we understand that Michael Rice just gone off there for treatment for a hand injury. He is now going to go to hospital, so his semi-final is over.
Sad news for Michael Rice and a big blow indeed for Kilkenny. Thanks very much, Claire, as the ball goes back down in towards Conor O'Brien and Michael Cahill. Both cornerbacks are there, half blocked by Finlay. Cahill comes in to assist his colleague, and that goes out over the end line.
That's a 65.
Should be a 65.
I think it was, yeah. I think looking at it initially, I thought it was a 65. We'll get a chance to look at it again here. If you look at Michael Cahill there, he kicks it out over the line, and that's definitely a 65.
Long puck out from Brendan Cummins. Once again, it's Kieran Joyce. Bursting out of that Kilkenny defence, full of heart, full of spirit.
And I think that incident at Michael Rice, when he hurt the hand, to go back to it, Pádraig Maher came up and pulled a wild stroke with one hand on the sideline. Now it was down on the ball, but it was one-handed, and obviously the hurl flew up along and caught Michael Rice, and I think that's why Brian Cody got so animated at the time. He wasn't happy about the stroke.
We believe it's a tendon injury in his hand. We wish Michael Rice a quick recovery as Tipperary go back into the attack, and it's the first time that I've seen TJ Reid actually been beaten for a high ball, and that was by Pádraig Maher.
That's right, and that's the first time I think Pádraig Maher has been in the game, and Tommy Walsh hasn't been in the game, and Lara Corbett hasn't been in the game, and you know, it's amazing. You spend the week talking about players, and sometimes the ball avoids them in the game or whatever, but it's a long way to go yet.
And here comes Henry. To his right, Richie Power. To his left, TJ Reid. Goal on here! Brilliant goal! A little piece of magic from one of the greatest teams we've seen. Shefflin had options available. Richie to his right, TJ to his left. He went left, and the result is what you see on your screen. Right into the back of the net.
Marty, that's a brilliant goal. If you watch Henry Shefflin going through, he changed hands, hand passed the ball with his right hand, about a 20-yard pass into TJ Reid, and a brilliant goal.
It changes that scoreline dramatically. Kilkenny 1-9, Tipperary 7 points. And remember, Kilkenny are without Michael Rice, as Claire told us a short time ago, is heading to hospital with a tendon injury in that hand. And it's very seldom you see Brian Cody so animated, so angry along the sideline. But that tells the story there as the ball is dropping in. Dangerous ball, batted away by Michael Cahill. Coming forward is Michael Finlay. Getting a little hurl in is Shane McGrath. Picked up by O'Mahony to Shane McGrath. Two North Tipperary lads. And between them, unfortunately, they can't clear it. Under pressure, the linesman James McGrath indicates that it is a Kilkenny ball.
That was incredible play by Michael Finlay. Conor O'Mahony got it, he couldn't get away from him. He gave it back to Shane McGrath, and just the pure power of him. He just completely overpowered both Conor O'Mahony and Shane McGrath there, and Kilkenny end up winning the line ball.
Quick sideline cut from TJ Reid for his own Larkin, sending it in low. Easily cut out by Thomas Stapleton. Using the wind to his backs. Remember, Tipperary are playing with the wind in this first half. Coming across is Richie Power, 14 in his back, but playing at centre half forward. Steps by the challenge. The referee has blown his whistle because Richie was taking too many steps, and that's going to be a free for the Premier County.
Yeah, but Kilkenny look much sharper, Marty, much fresher, and they're winning all the 50-50 battles at the moment.
Ball drops in. David Herity is there behind a pretty impressive full back line so far. Paul Murphy, JJ Delaney and Jackie Terrell. Ball again aimed at TJ Reid. Owen Larkin is hovering. Reid showing some nice stick work. Gathers it into the hand, and away he goes again. But this time he passes it straight to Brendan Maher. Maher first, Shane McGrath. Two midfielders combining. Goes long up towards Patrick Bonamar. And this time Kilkenny, not surprisingly, wins the one-to-one tussle up front. Coming forward is Jackie Terrell. Three Tipperary lads around him. Gives it for his own Larkin. Once domiciled in the full forward line, now out around midfield. goes for distance. Trying to get a shot in was Colin Finlay. Picked up this time by Pádraig Maher. Puts the brakes on, changes direction, uses the short grip and goes down towards Patrick Bonamar. Coming across is Noel McGrath. Lara Corbett, Pat Burke, David Herity. Herity loses the possession. It's into Pat Burke. It's a goal for Tipperary. More drama in Croke Park as this story changes chapters, second by second, minute by minute. First it was TJ Reid with a cracker, then comes this as the Thurles lads came in. Lara Corbett, fair challenge on David Herity, comes first Pat Burke and into the back of the net.
Absolutely, Marty, fair attack. I was going to criticise Lara for being a bit slow onto the breaking ball, and David Herity won't like to see that one again. He should have really had it collected and, you know, brings Tip back into the game again.
Now, psychological advantage for the moment is with the Premier County, the Munster champions. This ball sent in by Brian O'Mara, but the ball is to the right and wide. Half an hour gone, 1-9, 1-7. Most enjoyable.
Yeah, Lara Corbett down injured now and looks like a hamstring problem.
And the referee is there too, as Lara Corbett obviously requires medical attention and fast. Looks like hamstring injury as the physios and the doctors all arrive. And that was such a significant moment as the ball came in here, came out far as Pat Burke. The Thurles Sarsfield's combination of 1-2. Corbett did the hitting, Burke did the scoring, all legitimate.
Yeah, there was no problem at all with it, and it looked like Lara looks like he's okay again. A minute ago I thought he was trying to run it off now. If it's a hamstring he won't run it off, but he looks to be okay now. He seems to be really focusing on Tommy Walsh, Lara Corbett. He's following him all over the place, and Tommy's on yellow card, and I don't really like to see what Lara Corbett's at out there, to be totally honest with you.
No.
There's nothing to do with hurling, and you know, it's not something I've seen out of him before, but he's not concentrating on the game at all.
Ball comes over to O'Larkin as we'll keep an eye on Tommy Walsh and Lara Corbett, not just on your screens but indeed off camera as well. Kilkenny are incensed. Dissent from Henry Shefflin, who expressed his view, and there's an extra 13 metres for Tipperary.
Yeah, look, there wasn't a lot in it again. You know, with the tackles that were going in the game, but you know, some are being let away and some aren't. And you know, a good heavy hit on Brendan Maher, and he was getting up. There was maybe an arm across him, but they're marginal calls.
He's already scored a goal and 4 points. This is Pat Burke. Hits it absolutely beautifully. And there's a man on form. David Herity with the puck out. Drops it down. And it's Shane McGrath. Blistering pass. Not a great pass, I must say, but it could still work out for us, Brian O'Mara. Paul Murphy picked up an injury, but he managed to get the hand pass in. Finlay battling here with Paul Kerr. Down first Pádraig Maher, and as he fell to the ground, hits it, an almighty wallop. Down towards Brian O'Mara. Lara Corbett has gone inside. O'Mara, Noel McGrath hits it quickly on the 45 and registers another point for Tipperary, and the sides are level for the 5th time in 33 minutes of action.
Yeah, and Marty, to be fair to Brian O'Mara, he's really, you know, shown great leadership in the Tipperary attack. He won that ball again and laid it off straight away to Noel McGrath. He's had a hand in 4 or 5 scores now, and he's doing very, very well.
Ball breaks for Richie Parr. High challenge, it would appear, by Pádraig Maher. The referee has blown his whistle. 1 minute of additional time just being announced here.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, definitely. I came straight in. You know, we've seen yellow cards given for an awful lot less than that. And I don't know what Declan Ryan was looking for there.
And the shenanigans still continues between Lara Corbett and Tommy Walsh.
Well, no,
they literally are following each other.
Well, Tommy isn't following him at all. Lara just keeps
doing it.
It's like he's trying to pick up Tommy Walsh. He keeps following him and trying to annoy him.
Henry Shefflin hits this to the right and wide. It's rather funny to watch, Michael, because it looks like Lar Corbett wants to mark Tommy Walsh rather than the other way around.
He wants to get his attention anyway. But you have to say, great comeback by Tipperary. They were 5 points down a few minutes ago, and if they had blinked, they could have been gone out of the championship. And great comeback by them.
Kieran Joyce clearance was not a good one. Comes far as Noel McGrath, but that's well wide of the target. Scoreline remains level. They've been level 5 times.
Yeah, the ref is calling this a 65. He must have saw a little deflection on the ball down there, and he's given a 65.
We're into injury time, and obviously the umpire now raises his arm to signal the referee's decision to give this 65. And remember, Tipperary playing with wind advantage, so possibly could drop this in high and hopefully maybe go in leading at the break.
Well, that's it, and as I said, they were 5 points down, and what a huge 7 or 8 minutes by Tipperary coming up to half time, and if they go in a point up now, that's some turnaround. And as I said earlier, Kilkenny would have done most of the hurling and won a lot of the 50-50 battles, but it's a sign of how good Tipperary are and how dangerous they are.
Referee Carl McAllister just telling Michael Finlay to get back the sufficient distance. It's Pa Burke standing over. Here he comes. And there is the point. His free taking has been a model of consistency in the opening half, and it gives Tipperary a 1-point advantage with 1 minute of injury time now played. And the referee, Carl McAllister, blows the half-time whistle. Tipperary and Kilkenny head to the dressing room after a most pulsating opening half in this All-Ireland semi-final. A goal by TJ Reid after 27 minutes certainly give Kilkenny an advantage, but Pa Burke responded 3 minutes later. The sides have been level 5 times in the first half, but at the break it's Tipperary leading by 1 goal and 10 points to Kilkenny's 1-9. Analysis coming up right after the break. Thank you very much, Michael. As you mentioned, 50,220 here in Croke Park, and thoroughly enjoying a pulsating contest. What's waiting for them is Galway on the 9th of September in the All-Ireland Hurling Final.
Marty, that's the best one I've seen. The ref threw in the ball and Tip of only 14 on the field. Lar Corbett hasn't come back out yet, wherever he is. He probably knew that Jackie Turley would be waiting at the tunnel for him. But I don't know where he is, but he's not out in the field.
And well spotted is right, Michael, and indeed, as we were watching the sliotar flying out over the sideline, there is still a player available. Killian Buckley is on the field and will remain on the field until Brian Cody decides to take him off, obviously, because Michael Rice's injury. And now Lar Corbett has been welcomed back onto the pitch rather belatedly, and again we have more of what we saw at the start of the first half, with more shouldering and shoving and pushing going on behind the scenes, as eventually Tommy Walsh takes up Pa Burke, and meanwhile, while all that was going on, we've got a point for Kilkenny.
Henry Shefflin put over a free there, and that is bizarre to say the least, and I'd like to see Lar coughing himself on a bit here and starting to hurl instead of going on with some sort of a side shot that nobody has any interest in. It's nothing to do with hurling.
Not exactly delayed Lar Corbett, we do not know, but he was late arriving back onto the field, and the referee wasn't going to wait for him, as Colin Finlay swings a ball across over towards Aiden Fogarty, who arrives in spectacular fashion. Great catch, makes room for himself and flings it between the posts. Wonderful score by Aiden Fogarty, who has now scored 3 times, all of them from play.
Well, he has, and what an attitude this man has. He's as tough as nails. He won a great ball in the air there and turned, and he's on Thomas Stapleton, who I mentioned before the game, has no experience at this level from the defender point of view, and he scored now 3 points from play.
Here's Noel McGrath having a shot from way out the field. David Herity is there. It seems to hit off the post or hit off his hurl. Patrick Bonamar trying to get inside the cover, trying to fire the bullet, pull the trigger, didn't quite do so. Kilkenny are back there in their numbers, including Paul Murphy, the right corner back in the left corner back position. The ball seemed to have gone out over the end line. The umpire has his arm raised momentarily, and he's now gone to the exact position the sliotar went over the line, and he's giving a 65 to Tipperary.
Yeah, and while we were trying to figure out where Lar was, Kilkenny have got 2 points and gone into the lead, but great defending there by JJ Delaney. You know, Bonner Maher broke onto the ball. JJ just stood his ground and held him out and showed his experience. And then David Hurley didn't really know where that was. But you see the influence of the wind there. Noel McGrath didn't get the distance, and it'll be interesting to see Tarbork now 65 into the wind. And that's a super strike.
Great score. He's now got a personal tally of a goal and 7 points. And the sides level again for the 7th time in this match. David Hurley with the puck out. That slither hitting the post. Didn't hit off his hurl at all. Certainly caused a bit of panic in Kilkenny. Killian Buckley off camera. There's another row developing. That ball is sent in by Buckley. That's left and wide. And the referee, I think, will actually have to take control of this and issue a yellow card, because this is becoming a sideshow.
What's happening is Lara Corbett is following Tommy Walsh around. He's running. Tommy Walsh is on a yellow card since very early in the game, and to me it looks like Lara Corbett is trying to get involved in something with Tommy Walsh, and it's absolutely disgraceful. Carry on.
Ball is just barely kept in, nicked away by Thomas Stapleton. Working hard is Brian O'Mara, comes back towards Stapleton again, picked up almost by Noel McGrath. This is Killian Buckley. Steps away from the challenge of Patrick Bonamara and hits it long. A little bit of pressure. Owen Larkin underneath it. Ball comes free for us, Colin Finlay. The referee spotted the infringement and he's given a free in to Kilkenny, which should stretch their lead again. There's Paul Curran battling with Owen Larkin here, and eventually the referee spotted the push and he's given the free to the Cats.
Yeah.
The referee needs to take action on this.
Well, I know who needs to take action. Declan Ryan, you know, and
Henry Shefflin takes the point and stretches Kilkenny's nose just in front by 1 again.
And I think, Marty, the physical power of the Kilkenny full forward line in this half could tell, you know, there's a strong wind behind them. You've got Colin Fennelly, Owen Larkin and Henry Shefflin in there, and, you know, Tip don't have Michael Cahill and Conor Bryan aren't the biggest men in the world, and it'll be interesting to see. I expect Kilkenny to play very, very direct hurling.
Remember, as Michael mentioned, Tommy Walsh is on a yellow card from the start of the game. JJ Delaney carries David Herity. Dropping down towards Aiden Fogarty. Breaking ball picked up by TJ Reid. Running at the Tipperary defence, being pursued by Pat Burke and Conor O'Mahony. TJ's efforts goes well wide of the target. Quick puck out from Brendan Cummins. Switching play over to the far overside towards John O'Brien. Gets a little bit of space for the first time in this All-Ireland semi-final, and John O'Brien from Toomevara puts his name on the score sheet for the very first time. And once again, the Cats and the Premier County are level. 8 times level.
That's a great score, Marty. Great puck out by Brendan Cummins and John O'Brien, and what a hard week he's had, and condolences to him and Paddy and all the family, and he's a great man to be here at all today.
Ball is swept down towards Michael Fennell. There's a little jersey pull. It's going to be a free for Kilkenny, just inside their own half of the field. Lara Corbett off camera is trying to tell the linesman that the free should be further back. And to the credit of the referee and indeed the linesman, they've now placed the sliotar in the right place. Gone back to take this free inside his own half of the field is Richie Powell. He scored 1 point in the first half.
I think, to be fair to Lara, he's right there. I think that free was 7 or 8 yards. I know Jackie hurling Lara at it again.
They're taking scalps off each other, digging each other with the hurls as Richie Power puts this over the bar, and the referee has taken the action that's required, I feel, and given a yellow card to Lara Corbett and a yellow card to Jackie Tyrrell. And perhaps now Lara will concentrate on what its primary purpose is, which is to play hurling and not to be chasing Tommy Walsh. Puck out, comes down towards Brendan Maher. Gets a little touch to it. Kilkenny back in the attack. Great catch once again, this time by Henry Shefflin, laying it off for his friendly. Oh, that's a brilliant hook by Michael Cahill, coming to Tipperary's rescue at precisely the right time, and that is a 65. And there's a more arguments and physicality this time going on between Pádraig Maher, who seemed to pull on Henry Shefflin, a little bit high as we watch this again.
Yeah, well, what a catch by Henry Shefflin. First of all, Colin Fennelly went inside. Now the referee allowed the advantage there. A lovely touch into Colin Fennelly and a great block down there or a hook by Michael Cahill. And I agree with you, Marty. I think when the ball did go out for the 65, Tariq Maher seemed to pull a little bit of a stroke on Henry Shefflin, but it's a 65 now. Richie Powers actually taking it.
The sideshow that's attracting the crowd at the off-camera, with 4 lads, 2 from Tipperary and 2 from Kilkenny, doing a run around Croke Park. This is the sort of thing that's attracting the crowd of over 50,000. Meanwhile, Richie Power takes the free, which is the main business, and Richie raises the white flag again. That's his 3rd point of the match. This is ridiculous.
Well, the man I'm blaming for Declan Ryan has to take action and take off Larry Corbett, because he hasn't made no attempt to play the game since the start of it. I don't know what he's playing at or what he's trying to do, but it's an absolute joke at this stage.
To Tommy Walsh's credit, he's not responding to it, although I know he's on a yellow card. Ball comes in, chasing after this. JJ Delaney and company are back there, sent down front of the Hogan. Aiden Fogarty is underneath it, equally as good under the high ball. He's working hard, lays it back. Farrell's JJ Delaney, it's a good ball inside. Brendan Cummins comes off his goal line, gets away from Colin Fennelly, and then steps into the space and drives it long. Dropping ball, Patrick Bonamar gets a touch, taking the hit again. JJ Delaney playing well. Jackie Tyrrell actually. Tyrrell drives it long. Coming through the centre is Aiden Fogarty. He has the space, he's on the 20, takes a shot, and it's in the back of the net. Brilliant goal by Aiden Fogarty. And Kilkenny rejoice. And rightly so. A cracking shot by the Emeralds man Aiden Fogarty. And Brendan Cummins just got a touch, but he couldn't stop Fogarty's rocket.
That is a classic goal, a brilliant wing forward play. Tommy Stapleton never moved from the right half back position, and Aiden Fogarty, made a 40-yard run. Absolutely brilliant goal.
Now can Tipperary respond for the 2nd time to a Kilkenny goal? First it was TJ Reid, then Todd Burke. Now it's Aiden Fogarty. Tipperary character being tested. Ball goes out for a 65.
But the difference in the attitude, Marty, that's what it's all about. Aiden Fogarty has scored 1 3 from play. He's playing if you just watch it here, he just burst through the centre there. Look at Thomas Stapleton, just left stranded out in the middle of the field, and that's called hard determination. And then to beat a goalkeeper like Brendan Cummins from that distance. Now Brendan might be a little bit disappointed, got to hurl up, but straight into the net and a great goal, and that's a brilliant attitude. 1 3 from play now from Aiden Fogarty, and that last year's All-Ireland John O'Keefe down that wing got a roast him as well, and Thomas Stapleton's getting it hard today.
Shane Burke is on for Tipperary, and the man that's gone off is Brian O'Mara. So a change in the Tipperary full forward line. Pa Burke to take the fray. And Mr. Consistency all the way through. He now has a personal tally of a goal and 8 points. Brian Cody must be well pleased with the response of his team from the hammering that they received from Galway here in the Leinster Hurling final. They're showing the mettle of true champions. Stepping away from the challenge, Aiden Fogarty. Pádraig Maher getting a hook in. Ball comes back out towards Colin Fennelly. In comes Richie Power. Confronting him is Shane McGrath. Pádraig Maher is there as well. Helmet is gone. The sliotar is still there. And the referee says it's a free out. And again, tempers are frayed. Richie Power wondering, what have I got to do here to get a free? He's saying the helmet was pulled off it. Let's just watch this again.
Shane McGrath comes into tackling here, grabs him by the helmet and pulls his helmet off him. That's actually a yellow card as well.
He literally pulled the helmet off him.
Yeah, but I can't believe that Thomas Stapleton has been left on Aiden Fogarty. He's gone off there and maybe substituted there now. I think maybe Paddy Stapleton might have come in while this has been going on.
Change in the Tipperary team. Paddy Stapleton in for Thomas Stapleton as the ball comes back down far as Brian Hogan. Centre back playing in a corner back or full back position there momentarily. Ball in the centre. Person involved is Pádraig Maher, stepping forward to the challenge. About to be hooked, puts it into the space. Ball carried a little bit too much pace. David Herity deals with it more than adequately. Kieran Joyce goes for distance. Easy ball for fullback and captain Paul Kern. Lays it off for his Pádraig Ma. Patrick Bonamar goes up for it. Brian Hogan judges it to perfection. Ball swung over this side. Owen Larkin gets a touch. Coming forward is Aiden Fogarty. Paul Kern is there, leading by example, winning the dirty ball and trying to start a Tipperary move. Brendan Ma laying it inside. Noel McGrath, nice ball inside for John O'Brien. Scored once already. This one looks a little bit short, but it comes back off the post. Still a bit of pressure for David Herity. This time he deals with it impressively and he wins himself a free. As Patrick Bonamar just arrived a little bit late as O'Brien's shot came back off the post.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of activity around that Kilkenny goal. That's the second ball that came back off the post. David Herity much more alert there and fouled by Bonamar. But you'd have to say, Marty, Kilkenny, no more than the first half, they seem to be dominating the game. They're all over, yet there's only 4 points in it. And you know, you'd imagine if Tip can just settle down, get some sort of a formation on their forward line and concentrate on playing ball up there, that they're still not gone out of this game.
Batted away by Michael Cahill. Killian Buckley is at the end of it waiting for it, and he scores in this All-Ireland semi-final. The substitute has done well since introduced from Michael Rice. It's Kilkenny now 215, Tipperary 130. Great catch by John O'Brien. Just took his eye off it momentarily, ahead of JJ Delaney, putting the hurley in there. It's Delaney onto the left-hand side. Nice touch by Paddy Stapleton. Far as Noel McGrath, operating around the 40, dropping in a little bit short. Easy ball for David Herity, who wisely goes for distance. Remember, Kilkenny playing with a strong wind in this second half. Paul Kern being chased by 2 Kilkenny players. Gets it out for his Conor O'Mahony. O'Mahony under pressure from Colin Fennelly. Kern is there, trying to get past TJ Reid. Flicks it forward for his Paddy Stapleton. Under pressure, 3 Kilkenny forwards converge, and it comes to the man who has the scoring touch of a goal and 3 points, Aiden Fogarty. And again, the referee's whistle is blown, and it is a free in for Kilkenny.
Well, that was unbelievable tackling, Marty. TJ Reid, Owen Larkin, both very involved in. Again, Aiden Fogarty, who's been everywhere, back onto the breaking ball again and fouled. And you know, the intensity of the tackling from the very start from the Kilkenny forwards has been huge. The tip backs just can't get out with the ball, and as a result they're playing very, very poor ball into their own forward line. And you know, as I said earlier, Tip have no shape in their forward line. They've no full forward line in place in there, and they're pucking ball in straight into the goalie.
Henry Shefflin. Easy for a player with that quality. 6 points between the teams. Kilkenny, by the way, have scored 1 goal and 7 points to Tipperary's 3 points in this second half. Brian Hogan begins to dominate the middle channel at number 6. Down towards Henry Shefflin. Owen Larkin putting the challenge in and winning the hard ball against Paul Kern. He leaves Kern for dead, and Owen Larkin scores! The captain of Kilkenny beats the captain of Tipperary, and he strokes it beautifully past one of the best keepers in the game. His name is Brendan Cummins, but Owen Larkin scores for the first time in the All-Ireland semi-final, and surely he's booked the Cats for a place in the All-Ireland final against Galway.
Well, absolutely, Marty, watch it again here. Owen Larkin hasn't quite enough last couple of games, but he's been sharp today. Just walked around Paul Kern there, and great finish into the corner of the net. And as you say, look at what a fantastic second half display from Kilkenny. We were still talking about where Lara was, and Henry Shefflin had brought them level, and since then their attitude, their commitment, their desire has never waned, and some brilliant finishing since, and their attitude is absolutely fantastic. And I just don't know what, you know, I'd be surprised by Tipperary's attitude. Lara Corbett shouldn't be left on the field, in my opinion, with the way he went on since the start of the game. And I think that, you know, the likes of Owen Kelly and Seamus Callan still sitting on the sideline at this stage of the game, and the game is over now really as a contest.
Well, Paul Kern, it must be said, seemed to pick up an injury as Owen Larkin took a step into a different gear and bypassed him as such.
Well, they're worn out, the tip backs, but the tackling of the Kilkenny forwards is savage since the start of the game, and they're just not able for the intensity of it.
Now, what if Tipperary got in their tank and their artillery? Because at the moment it's all Kilkenny. showing why they have been one of the best teams we've seen in the game of hurling for many years. TJ Reid lays it off. Where's Richie Powell? Positions mean absolutely nothing. You may be named a corner forward, you could end up wing back, because that's the position of Richie Powell and TJ Reid at times have been. This time it's a free out for Tipperary as Paul Kern wins a free, hard earned it must be said, against Henry Shefflin and company. And there is a yellow card for Henry Shefflin, who seemed to stand on Paul Kern's hurley, I think, there as Kern was trying to get up off the ground. So it's a yellow card for Henry Shefflin. Free taken by Brendan Cummins. Remember, this is a game that was level on 8 occasions. But look at the top of your screen, now 9 points between the teams. Shane Burke trying to win one back, but unfortunately for him, it's to the left and wide. So it remains 25 points to 16 or 316 to 113. Puck out by David Herity. Dropping down towards TJ Reid. Loose ball. Picked up on this occasion by Aiden Fogarty. Back to Reid, who've tormented the Tipperary defence. Fennelly lays it off to Larkin, going for goal number 2, and Paul Kern takes him down, and that is unquestionably first a yellow card and a penalty as well.
Absolutely, great ball again. TJ Reid, who's really had a great game today, upped his game. Great diagonal ball, and Colin Fennelly, you know, he's so strong. Great one possession, ball bounced up, caught it first time and laid off a lovely little hand pass to Owen Larkin, bursting through and just dragged down by Paul Kern. And I think it's only a 21, just outside the large parallelogram. I think it's just a 21-yard free, and Henry will tap it over.
20-metre free for Henry Shefflin, and he drives it well beyond hill 16 as well.
Well, he didn't tap it over, but tapped it over the hill. A lovely little hand pass there by Colin Fennelly, and you know, Paul Kern had no choice really.
Loose ball again. Aiden Fogarty chases after it. Paul Murphy is there too. He's the right corner back, and playing now almost in midfield. Fine catch by Paul Kern, who continues to give it everything.
Well, you mentioned the Kilkenny backs, Marty. They've never deviated from the plan. From the start of the game, Paul Murphy has picked up Noel McGrath, Tommy has picked up Ta Burke, Brian Hogan has picked up Bonner Maher, and so on. Jackie Hurley has been on Lara Corbett, and JJ Glennie has been on John O'Brien, and they haven't changed since the start of the game.
Ta Burke dropping this one in. Lara Corbett was near it, but didn't get a touch. Ball is wide. But Cyril Farrell made a point at half-time, Michael, about he thought that possibly the fittest team would win this semi-final, and certainly Kilkenny have showed.
Well, both teams are very fit. Now, I don't think that's an issue. But a lot of fitness comes from determination and from drive and heart, and Kilkenny have shown more of that.
There's no question about that. They've given it everything. 10 minutes since Tipperary scored in this All-Ireland semi-final. As Kilkenny have really stepped up a gear. Pádraig Maher, Tommy Walsh. This is the old flamboyant Tommy Walsh, and the cheer from the Kilkenny supporters says, welcome back to Ford. Owen Larkin, great catch on the turn. What about the finish? It's wide. 56 minutes played, and Kilkenny very much in control now. Ball comes down towards Paddy Stapleton. Quick puck out from Brendan Cummins, and that's going to be a free for Tipperary.
Yeah, and Kieran Joyce, another player, has had a very, very solid big call to leave off Richie Doyle, who's been very good all year for them, but I think Brian Cody just went for more physical strength and power, and it's really worked out for them.
Ball breaks. JJ Delaney vacuums up as usual. Little touch by Aiden Fogarty. Tries to get away from Paddy Stapleton. Stapleton without a hurl. Owen Larkin with a hurl, picks it up nicely, and there's more trouble for Tipperary. TJ Reid coming in. Lovely jink inside. A rasper. Another goal. Kilkenny are back to their very best. Who are we to question it? Hammered by Galway in the Leinster final. This is a mark of a truly magnificent team to respond to the challenge. TJ Reid stepping inside and an absolute rocket.
Michael Cahill lunged in, and I think Paul Curran, you could see a hurl coming through there. Paul Curran through the hurl as well, lucky to be still on the field just after getting the yellow card. But Marty, I think you're right. I think once again, I didn't write off the Kilkenny team, but just sort of thought on the balance of power that Tip maybe should be improving coming to this match. Thought that the momentum was with them, and questioned them again, and losing Richie Hogan, Eddie Brennan gone, Michael Kavanagh retired, lads like that, and Michael Rice gone off injured today. And what a performance again! Like, they're just, we've said it so many times, the greatest team of all time. But what can we say? Another absolutely brilliant performance today.
And what a manager! Brian Cody in his 14th year in charge, once again spreading the Cody magic, sprinkling it, and they have responded. They were quiet in Kilkenny when I was down there yesterday for the All-Ireland Camogie semi-finals. Oh boy, what a response.
Yeah, you see Michael Cahill bought the dummy and a great goal.
Tuck out from Brendan Cummins, pulled down by JJ Delaney. John O'Brien is there, so too is Aiden Fogarty. Really played well. Brendan Marr and Tommy Walsh. Up into the air, short little grip, comes for his TJ Reid, bats it out for his Aiden Fogarty, who have tormented Tipperary. Fogarty's shot just dropping a little bit short. Brendan Cummins looks around at various options, and there aren't many for the Munster champions. Patrick Bonner-Marr unable to control it, goes forward for his Killian Buckley. Buckley drives it long and plays it simple down towards Owen Larkin and Richie Parr, coming out towards Aiden Fogarty. Staying goal side is Paddy Stapleton. Fogarty looks back out for his TJ Reid, trying that little jink again, and then flings it high. Oh my word, it drops over the bar with a little bit of help from Brendan Cummins, but TJ Reid, what a magnificent point.
That's an unbelievable score, Marty. What a game. And I'm so, some players, things don't go for them when they start, maybe over the years. And TJ Reid has come on and made massive contributions over the years. He's a brilliant hurler, brilliant in the air. But today, from the very, very start, he's been so crucial to this Kilkenny game plan, and that's an absolutely brilliant point by TJ.
Paul Curran has gone off for Tipperary, and Donamar from Burgess is in. And Kilkenny, such great fielders like Brian Hogan. First touch is magnificent. Michael Fennelly, short grip, steps away, the umpires look, and the ball is wide. 4-19 Kilkenny, 1-13 Tipperary. Who would think it? Considering that the teams were level 8 times. But the Kilkenny determination, spirit, is unquenchable. And here comes Tommy, wee Tommy, full of fire, full of energy, laying it off for his Colin Fennelly, stepping away from the challenge as Kilkenny now exhibit all their magnificent skills. And this ball, unfortunately for Fennelly, is left and wide. They've shot, by the way, just 7 wides in this game, and they've registered 4-19. 3-10, 3 goals and 10 points in the second half for the Kilkenny Cats. Just 3 points for Tipperary. What an awesome second half.
Yeah, what a catch there by JJ Delaney, an absolutely brilliant catch. And Brian Hogan, I think, has caught about 6 puck-outs clean as well.
Pádraig Barr being fouled by Richie Parr, free for Tipperary. To be honest with you, it's well beyond the Munster champions at this stage. Loose breaking ball picked up by Tommy Walsh, and all the sideshows and all the game plans that were going on are now null and void, irrelevant. Oh dear, Pádraig Barr, that is a red card offence, and I have no doubt that Carl McAllister, who saw it just as clearly as we did, will take aside Pádraig Barr and will show him a red card here.
It's pure frustration, but a very, very wild swing, and in fairness to TJ Reid, made nothing of it, but it's very hard to see anything else.
Let's just see what the decision of the referee is, because he's saying let's keep it calm. He's first taking the name of Pádraig Barr. To be honest with you, it is the second wild pull out of Pádraig Barr, and it's just a yellow card. Well, I have to be honest, I really am surprised at that.
Well, just looking at it initially, comes right around here. He missed him. That's about all you can say. He pulled a wild stroke. If he'd made contact, it was a very, very dangerous pull, and he didn't connect. But the rule is it should be a red card.
Henry Shefflin there with a point, but just watch this again. And it was a pull,
no,
he
got him on the shoulder. It was a wild stroke, and TJ Reid never made anything of it. But it's to strike or attempt to strike with the hurl is a red card, and Pádraig Maher very, very lucky.
No doubt Pádraig Maher should be gone off, to be honest with you. And John O'Brien is going off. And it has been a very tough week for him indeed. And again, we express our sympathies to the O'Brien family, and a huge round of applause for John O'Brien. As Michael Geignan said, really it's been a terrible week, and he's done well to be here. So Tipperary bring in substitute John O'Neill into the team instead of John O'Brien. Lar Corbett going forward here. JJ Delaney nicely knocked back by Patrick Bonamar. Lovely hand pass by Lar Corbett, and the ball is into the side netting and wide. But lovely play by Tipperary, and particularly by Lar Corbett, with a really slick back pass. But unfortunately for John O'Neill, side netting. So Kilkenny are going to introduce not one, not two, but three substitutes. Matthew Ruth is going to be coming on. Richie Doyle is on. His number 23 is Matthew Ruth. Going off is Paul Murphy. Richie Doyle is on as well, and he normally plays.
Richie Doyle is on, yeah, for Paul Murphy, and Colin Fennelly gone off as well there, Marty. Matthew Root gone on corner forward for him. Great opportunity to give lads a run now with 8 or 9 minutes to go, and you're sure you're placing the final. And double scores, hard to believe. Marty just said it. I just can't believe it. I thought it would go down to the wire today, and it's just a huge performance by Kilkenny again. And just to go back to that Leinster final, Marty, you know, sometimes when you're on the road so long, Kilkenny needed that motivation. You know, Galway played brilliantly on the day. Kilkenny were well beaten, kind of no complaints, but it was a great way to go back training the following week and say, lads, you know, are we going to finish up like this? And you know, the players have responded magnificently, and I believe the meeting they had on the Monday night, Brian Cody took a lot of personal responsibility, spoke to the players about, you know, maybe playing with bits of injuries and all that, didn't want it, and unless you were fit to play with your clubs, unless you were fit to come in and train, and he didn't want you in there, and a lot of straight talking was done, and you can see the result of it here today. Great men back to their very best.
Very impressive performance by Kilkenny, and Tommy Walsh lays it back for us. Brian Hogan gives it to Michael Fennelly. Brendan Maher was the number 8 coming into challenge, picked up by John O'Neill, and that's a point for Tipperary and for John O'Neill. Five minutes left in this All-Ireland semi-final, and all you can say, look back in awe almost the way Kilkenny displayed all their hurling skills in this second half. Unstoppable. Brendan Maher is going off. James Woodlock is on in the middle of the field.
Yeah, Tip Hutt have got 4 points in the second half, Marty. They're starting forward, and Par Burke had a goal from play. Bonner Maher didn't score, Lar Corbett didn't score, Brian O'Mara didn't score, John O'Brien got 1 point, and Noel McGrath got 2 points. And you know, that's not going to be enough against a team like Kilkenny. TJ Reid has 2-2, Owen Larkin a goal, Fogarty has 1-3, and you know, the work rate, Fennelly and Rice a point each, Killian Buckley a point from play, you know, and the spread of scores, and it's just, there's no comparison right across the two teams.
Supporters, as you just saw, just leaving, some of them disappointed, heartbroken with the display of Tipperary, particularly in the second half. And by the way, John O'Neill's point, that was their first score since the 46th minute, as Henry Shefflin adds on another. Well, you can start looking for your tickets for the All-Ireland Hurling Final on the 9th of September between Kilkenny and Galway, and a repeat of the Leinster Hurling Final. And Kilkenny introduce another substitute. Looks like Conor Fogarty is coming on, and going off is Aiden Fogarty.
Yeah, Conor Fogarty's gone on midfield, and Killian Buckley gone into left half forward.
David Herity coming out to take this free outside his own 45-metre line. drops this in around the square. Henry Shefflin gets a touch. Brendan Cummins relieves the pressure momentarily. Parr had a touch. Richie Parr had the vision. Brian Hogan has the effort. And the score. Brilliant hurling by Kilkenny. Now there's a sequence of play that could be shown to young lads.
Yeah, great ball
all
out
over
there.
the country.
But Brian Hogan has had some game. You know, like he was missing. He was missing the last day. He was injured. Just back training in the last 10 days or so. And what a performance he's given today! It's completely taken Bonnermar out of the game, who's been a key man for Tipperary this year.
Ball goes down towards Owen Larkin. Lays it off. Fires TJ Reid. Was afraid the referee saw the infringement. And of course, coming up tonight, the Sunday game at 9:30 on RT2. You can see highlights of this All-Ireland semi-final and plenty of talking points, and a look ahead, of course, to the first of the All-Ireland football semi-finals as well. Yellow card for Conor O'Mahony as frustration takes hold here. Challenge on TJ Reid.
Well, you can see that, you know, it was a nice slap into the face guard again and a dangerous tackle. A lot of frustration creeping in now to Tipperary players.
Once again, the umpire is going for the white flag. They're in no rush whatsoever to get to their flag. So he gets there eventually, and it's another point for Henry Shefflin. In the middle of the field is Conor O'Mahony. Noel McGrath. Pádraig Maher pumps it into the space. Tipperary need goals, and they need them very, very fast. That's a good score.
Yeah, John O'Neill, you'd have to say, look, lively, nice points since he came on, but you know, points at this stage obviously no good, but he's took a couple of nice scores. And just going back to Henry there, you know, scored 9 points today, all from place balls, nothing from play, but still it's his leadership or something. He had the goal in the first half, great run, and he hadn't been in the game, but you know, that's at this stage of his career, you can't be expecting him, and the other players have really stood up to the mark today and taken the pressure off him. 1
minute of additional time to be added on in this semi-final. JJ Delaney dancing away from John O'Neill's challenge. Kilkenny superior in every sector at this stage. Long ball again down towards Owen Larkin. More trouble for Tipperary. Lovely pick up by Larkin, but Tipperary win the possession back. Comes down towards Shane McGrath. Battling here with Conor Fogarty. Stepping away is James Woodlock. Ferris Pa Burke. And Burke's effort is right and wide. Giving Tipperary 9 wides in this All-Ireland semi-final. But the reality is the Munster champions have been well beaten in this latter 35 minutes of action.
They have indeed, Marty, and you know, I think there's a big message was sent out Galway. You know, and it's good for Galway, I think, too, that Kilkenny have won like this today, because, you know, in case if there was ever going to be any complacency going into a final, Galway are going to have to know that unless they're at their very, very best. And, you know, obviously Kilkenny will have the motivation of the Leinster final, but, you know, Galway can't let that worry them. They have to go back and do their work and get ready for the final. And there's another great score. There's a score from Henry now. I said he hadn't scored from play, and there's a great point from way out the field.
10 points for Henry Shefflin. He must have heard you, Michael, because that's his first point from play. And the full-time whistle blows in Croke Park. No question that Brian Cody is heading back to Croke Park, to this venue that he's graced for so many years as a player and as a manager. It's a repeat of the Leinster hurling final, which Galway won. What about that for a mouth-watering prospect? Pádraig Maher can only sigh in disappointment as Richie Parr, Noel Hickey and Kilkenny show that they have the hunger, they have the appetite, and considering that the sides were level 8 times, it's an amazing turnaround, an awesome performance by Kilkenny, and really at times they looked unstoppable. Henry Shefflin, despite getting a yellow card from the referee, can afford a smile. For Brendan Cummins, it's not every day of the week. He's beaten 4 times, only 1 shot he might be disappointed with, the others was just simply unstoppable. Henry Shefflin scores 10 times, once from play, encouraged by Michael Duignan.
Absolutely. Well, Marty, I don't think he needs to be encouraged by me to score. He's an absolute, you know, the all-time greatest player probably that we've certainly seen, and you know, what a performance by Kilkenny. it's unusual you go after a match and say, I can't remember one Tipperary player that maybe got the better of their man today. I think Kilkenny won every single battle out there. They played absolutely fantastic stuff, and great performance by them, and it's really back to the drawing board for Tipperary.
3 goals in the second half by Fogarty, Larkin and Reid gives this a very impressive scoreline. Before a crowd of 50,220, Kilkenny are back in the All-Ireland final for a record-breaking 7th All-Ireland time in a row. Full-time score in Croke Park, Kilkenny 424, Tipperary 115.